Alright guys, it got cold as shit in here about an hour ago. So yesterday was 69 degrees and today I think it was like 34 and we had a little bit of freezing drizzle. So holy crap, it was cold. Anyway, I turned on my propane heater this morning and I worked about 4 hours out here and then the propane ran out. So I'll have to go in the morning to get another bottle. But anyway, I was having to trying to finish up some of these other little pieces here. I made these a long time ago and I've showed a video of them before. Anyway, I'm getting them all ready by using 120 around the edges and kind of cleaning them up and getting them ready for some 2K primer. These are just some body mount covers I made that basically fill the gap. Because on the other side I'm still going to run my battery cable and my fuel line through the body mounts in between them. And so the ones on the other side I've got a notch, but that way they're a removable panel, and you know, if I have to change a fuel line or battery cable or whatever, I can still do it. Also, it kind of helps keep the like rocks or debris getting down inside the body mount area and kind of hanging down there. But anyway, I had these made a long time ago, and then I went through and cut the flanges off these body mount edges. Probably easier to see this one. Frame's all dusty, but anyway, I beveled these. This is all weld I built up in here, and then I used a ball burr, kind of honed it out a little bit. But so anyway, I had to go through and do a little bitty notch right here to clear the curve a little bit because they were sticking out. But that's pretty much what they look like when they're on. I left a gap around it for paint buildup, and so it wouldn't rattle or chip or scratch or anything. So anyway, they'll end up looking pretty cool. This one I still have to tweak a little bit on the edge here because it's sticking out at the top just a little bit. Now these I'll have to put some primer on and block them out from bending them and hammering on them, because this thing's got a funky shape. It actually curves a little bit, but it's kind of neat looking with the 12-point ARPs in it. So it, you know, just a little bit more detail. But anyway, the other side, I actually forgot to drill and tap them bigger on the other side, because I actually just had button head 832s in here, and I decided a few months back to change it to the ARP 1032. So I had to drill them out, re-tap them, and then open up the holes bigger in the covers I made. But anyway, so that's what they look like on. Now these here, I'm going to have to wait on them because I got to notch them out for the battery cables, and I'll end up, I think I got one right here somewhere. Kind of give you the idea of what I'm talking about here. I'm actually going to cut some grommets, and I'm going to epoxy them. I'm going to cut the grommets to where they fit in there, and then make them flush on the ends, but I'll epoxy them on so they stay there for, you know, so they don't chafe on the battery cable or whatever. But anyway, it kind of looks like that. I went through and labeled them, you know, R1, R2, R3, R4, so I'd know the order. So this is obviously the back side. But anyway, it's just a sheet of hot rolled steel I had. I think it's, I don't even know what gauge that is. It's just what I had here scrap. But anyway, so I've got just about all these little parts ready. And this one I'm going to end up putting more Z-chrome on to build it up quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and Z-chrome a lot of these parts just to basically fill in all the rough stuff that it has, you know, instead of having to go through and do putty work on all of it and then sand it. And so I'll just Z-chrome it and get it over with. But these are a bunch of little brackets for all the crap, and you know, I went through and rounded all the edges on everything and just made everything look pretty decent. The other thing I did was my U-bolts. Now I had bought a 2-inch lowering block kit to use the U-bolts out of a long time ago, of course. But anyway, the bolts were really long, and I ended up cutting them off, and they really weren't even, and some of them weren't cut straight. So today I went through and cut them exactly the length they need, so they all four match now. And then I went through and fine sanded the ends real good, and kind of rounded the edge a little bit, chamfered it, I guess you'd say. But the nuts go on just fine. But anyway, it just looks a little better. It's a little bit more straight cut than all butchered like it was. I got all these shackle hangers, all the edges done, and trued up around the edge of it there. Anyway, it's just hours of metal grinding. I cleaned up my mess. It was a big giant pile of metal dust when I was finished. But so anyway, I have a lot of stuff to do. This was, I think I showed this before. This is a Hoodbird wing nut I made for my air cleaner, and the one wing was actually about an 1/8 inch longer than the other one. I made these all out of separate pieces, and I used a MIG welder to put it all together. So pretty tedious little bitty thing to work on with a MIG, you know. Anyway, I ended up using a 1/8 inch cutoff wheel, and I cut it and then beveled the edges and kind of tacked it back together. I'm going to end up having to put some paint stripper on here to get all this primer and filler and all the crap off of it. But anyway, so I'm trying to get the wings even across now. But anyway, so I got some work still to do on that. Pretty tedious shit there. But anyway, guys, I'm pretty excited. The car show's tomorrow. I can't wait to go to see all the stuff. But that's pretty much it. I'd say it's a good 30-something in here right now because it is cold. And I hate the cold. So anyway, that's really kind of a shitty update, but I did get a lot of metal dust slinging today.